Y'all heard me singing. I was trying to do some gospel for y'all before we came on.
Hallelujah.
We're trying to get y'all all
Hallelujah.
set up. We ready? We
Yes.
live.
We are live.
We live. What's happening? What's happening? Good
Uh-huh.
people. This is Tracy Irvin, and this is Smoke and Score Live. I am Tracy Irvin, your ultimate CEO, queen, crushing every opportunity. And with Ultimate CEO Cigars, we are. And my co-host, I gotta say my co-host here
I
too.
know you
I'm
forgot
about
about
to
me.
skip you.
All right, Leon Sersa Jr., All Pro Series Cigar, Howard G. Brand.
Howard G
In the house. Absolutely.
in the house.
Mhm.
And of course, we have another amazing guest. First of all, we want to, before we talk about our guests, we want to talk about where we are. We're at Island Girl Gate Parkway, 7860 Gate Parkway, here in the beautiful city of Jacksonville, Florida, right across the street from IKEA. We're here every other Thursday. Do not forget to go on Facebook, like, tag, and share, or tag, like, and share, or however you want to say it. Please, please, please tag, like, and share on Facebook and Instagram, Smoke and Score Live. And of course, please, 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 please subscribe. Oh, that's enough, please.
You begging right now.
That I please,
Well,
please,
ahead.
about 2 more
Please,
times if I
y'all.
need to. Please, please, please. That's like James Brown did.
Please.
Please.
Yeah.
They put the jacket. You want to take the jacket?
I know.
You know what was the guy's name
Who?
that Maceo? Thank
Yeah,
you,
Maceo.
I
Yeah,
know
okay.
AT would know. Maceo. Put my jacket on, Maceo. Take my jacket off. But yes, so we were please love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, of course, and you can follow all of our past and current episodes on our YouTube Smoke and Score Live. And we are here with the live studio audience. It's a little light tonight, but who's here needs to be here. Studio audience, how you doing? Y'all give it get hand praise. I know that's right. Hey,
All right.
hey,
Yeah,
hey. We got some studio audience members here.
It may not be many, but we still love you.
We still lovely.
That's right.
And we still love you because you know whether it's 2 or 20 gather, we still gonna do what? Show up and show out. So that's what we do at Smoke and Score. And of course, we have another amazing guest. Every other Thursday, we invite an entrepreneur or someone doing something in the community, or both. Entrepreneur that's doing something in the community. Every other Thursday, we have Mr. Eli Douglas of Eli Douglas Photography in the house. Y'all give him a hand clap for that.
All right.
Hand clap. Mr. Eli Douglas. And we're so excited to have him here. I tell you, there has not been a guest that I have asked or wanted to have a sponsorship with us that has told me no in the past year since we've been on, Leon. And that's a blessing because somebody, normally you get a no. So this must be meant to be, don't you think, partner?
Oh,
Partner,
yeah,
wake up.
absolutely. You mean wake up? I'm wide awake. You the one to sleep and late too.
I wasn't late.
Yeah, you were late. You were.
I've always been
Me
the
and
one
Eli were
first.
here
So
too.
wait a minute. Now we don't want to go
Man,
there.
listen, me and Eli was here 20
We don't want to go there.
20 minutes before you got here.
Oh, so now you want to make it 2022. What about 2021?
Okay, all right.
Okay, very
All
good.
right, we slide. We'll let that slide.
We're gonna let me slide.
Okay.
But we are so excited to have you here, Mr. Douglas. We're going to go and dive into your journey, not just in the photography profession and the photography business, but just what led you to that path. Because I actually met you when you were in the banking business. It's how we met. So I seem to meet a lot of my friends in the banking business. I must need a lot of bank help. What does that say, Leon? I don't know.
I mean, you need a loan.
I need that too.
You need a loan.
That
That's
mean
what
I got a lot of
you got a lot of people
Well,
in the bank
claim
that need
it.
a loan. Huh?
Eli, claim it.
Okay,
Claim
all
that
right.
thing. Claim it.
I need to know who you know.
I know. Most of I guess been in the banking business. That's so fun. So again, we do not own the rights. Smoke and Score does not of any music played during our broadcast. Our opinions expressed on the Smoke and Score Live podcast with Leon and Tracy by guests or sponsors are expressly used for this broadcast. All opinions of guests and sponsors or content therein does not necessarily represent any opinions or agreements on behalf of which we are affiliated. Okay, I must say that. And we have a couple of sponsors. If you would like to be a sponsor for Smoke and Score Live and brand your brand or business, advertise your business, please get in touch with us at smokeandscorelive@gmail.com. That's smoke, SMOKE, and score, SCORE, live at gmail.com. And we would love to have you as a sponsor. We are growing our viewership, and there are a lot of people that are coming on from all over. And so you will have a wide range of followers and viewers to be able to support your business and or brand. And we would love to do that as well, because that's what the ultimate CEO have of Smoke and Score is all about: helping people win, right? Crushing every opportunity, helping people win. And you can be also an all pro as a pro for All Pro Series, right, Leon?
Absolutely.
Right, Leon?
Yep.
Okay, so I have a few sponsors. We had Mr. Wayne Clark that will be running for sheriff. He was one of our guests a few weeks ago, Wayne Clark. His information, his platform, you can reach him at Wayne Clark for Sheriff 2023.com. Wayne Clark for Sheriff 2023.com. Mr. Wayne Clark, we're very proud and encouraged by your platform and all that you're doing. So we just wanted to thank you for being a sponsor of the show of Smoke and Score. 2023 sound like the last time when he was on the show, it sounded like far away. Now that it's March, Leon, it doesn't sound so far away.
Days are going by fast.
It's like,
absolutely,
that's almost next week, right?
Well, it's March already.
I know, right? And then we have Mr. Lewis Whaley, who was our guest on our last episode. Mr. Lewis Whaley of King's Palace Cigar Lounge. King's Palace Cigar Lounge is a Black and veteran-owned cigar lounge that will be coming to Palm Coast, Florida. Hopefully, he said. Now he told us what 20. He said this year.
No, he said this summer.
He said this summer.
This summer, yeah,
He
absolutely.
said this summer,
And
right?
you know, he gave us some samples of his cigars, and I smoked them last week.
They were great.
They were great.
They were great. They were very great. The Maduro is hot.
It is.
It's hot. Okay. So look forward to an upscale experience with a laid-back feel, offering a wide variety of boutique, as well as your favorite brand of cigars, King's Palace Cigars, Palm Coast, Florida, Mr. Lewis Whaley. Okay. And of course, Jazz Zamore, the artist. Follow Jazz Zamore on IG and Facebook under the THEE, the Jazz Zamore. Zamore, ZAMOR. For all upcoming dates where you can see her live, please subscribe to her YouTube, The Jazz Zamore. She's an amazing artist, singer, actress, and some of everything else. She's an amazing entertainer. And she's a friend and sponsor of the Smoke and Score family, and we appreciate you, Miss Jazz. Last but not least, we have Miss Tina Tucker, Chef Love Catering. She is at 6801 Larkin Road, 6801 Larkin Road, Chef Love Catering, 904-704-1372, 904-704-1372. Chef Tina Love, Chef Love. She is right in the corner. You can't miss her truck. Beautiful face and beautiful spirit on the side of that truck, and she has amazing food. She has some breakfast on Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings. Eli, she got something called oxtails and grits. You ever had oxtails mixed with grits?
Not mixed with grits.
Man, let me tell you, it melt in your mouth.
Wow.
It melt in your mouth. What did you have, Leon, when you went?
I believe I had the fried fish and shrimp.
Okay.
It was outstanding.
And there was another dish that we had named it for when she was on our show before. I can't remember.
It was slap your mama.
Slap your mama, some kind of slap your
mama. I can't
mama.
remember what. It was the food was so good, make you slap your mama.
Yeah, that part.
That worked.
It's real good. So you can catch her over there off of Arlington Expressway. Amazing food, amazing spirit, amazing service.
Maybe we shouldn't call it slap your mama. Maybe slap your auntie.
Slap your.
Ain't nobody slapping their mama.
Slap somebody.
No, you don't want to
somebody. The food was good.
Well,
We'll just say that. But we coined the phrase.
Well, actually, I stand a better chance at slapping my mama than my auntie. Because my auntie will fight me. My mom might forgive me. My auntie, she might. You've never met my aunt? AT's met my aunt. My aunt. She will lay them hands. It ain't no holy hands either.
What's your auntie name?
Takia.
Oh yeah, she could fight. She got a name like Katia. She could fight. You gotta worry about that.
She could fight because her name Takia.
Yeah.
What you trying to say?
Her
name not Bomquisha. All right. So thanks for all the streaming listeners. Again, you can go virtually live to listen to us on Facebook Live at Smoke and Score Live. You can see us live on Facebook, and we have some people that are streaming in. Thank you so much, Mr. Alan Peake. I appreciate you. Thanks for telling us to have a good show. That's your boy, Alan.
The Godfather. The Godfather's on.
He's on. Thank
you so much.
Godfather? We appreciate you.
I got a cigar for it next time I see you.
Why you always give him one? Don't give me one.
Wait a minute. First of all, you have your own cigar brand. You can get cigars anytime you want. Yes or no?
She got total access.
You got total access to it.
Wait a minute, Eli.
She get high on her own
Eli,
supply.
Eli.
So I
Y'all
give
supposed to
Island
be
a cigar. She
co-sign.
gets upset.
The point is, you've given him some of your cigars, and you
Right.
don't give. Well, you gave me one
Thank
time.
you. See what I'm saying?
One time you first started
You
out.
caught
You gave me
yourself,
one.
biggest. Always get every chance I get. I give you a cigar.
And we have Miss Tammy Fields. She is chiming in. She'll be doing some threads during the Facebook Live, so that any information that you all need that we'll talk about our guests, she'll post some of those things. So we appreciate Tammy for all her help, and of course, not to neglect to say that she does an amazing job with our marketing and everything that we have to do in terms of making digitally Smoke and Score Live what it is. So Tammy Fields, we appreciate you.
Appreciate
My
you,
love.
Tammy. Appreciate
That
you,
is
Tam. Appreciate you,
Mrs.
Tam.
Fields. Mrs. Fields, and that's not the cookie. That was good. That was a good joke. Y'all missed it. Thank you. Thank you, AT, because they ain't got no love around here, man. Just because it's, hey, whether two or more are gathered, come on, y'all have some laughter around here. Okay, you know what? Since this all Smoke and Scores mission is all about Eli. Smoke and Scores mission is all about cigar culture, entrepreneurism, community, and sports. So we have love for the leaf. When we say cigar culture, that's a term that a lot of us have adapted over the past years. But what people mean, I think a lot of people are not understanding, because I had people ask me that question in the last couple of weeks, actually at the lounge, Leon, where I work. What is cigar culture? Well, it's when people are kind of coming together in the cigar industry for love of the leaf. There's a lot of different people from all walks of life. When you sit down with a cigar, of course, this is like an hour and a half type situation, right? So you have time to meet people. You have time to collaborate, to talk with people, find
True.
out different things about people.
True.
So it's culture.
Yeah.
It's all about a culture. It's all about people of like minds coming together, because it's not an inexpensive habit. So
Yeah.
somebody they're not buying a Black and Mild for $2. So
Well, listen, I've always noticed that the cigar culture has a cigar is like an icebreaker. To be quite honest with you, you go in the humidor, you get you a cigar, and no matter who you're sitting down with, you deal with all frames of life. You deal with white, black, old, rich, poor, whatever. But the one thing that differentiates the cigar from meeting someone anywhere else is that you got one thing in common. You have the common love for smoking cigars. And I've engaged with a lot of people here at Aromas, here at Oliver and other different establishments where I could grab a cigar, grab me a drink, sit down and have a conversation. I've actually done deals with people. Business deals right here at Island Girl. I sit down and have a smoke and engage, have a conversation. And people ask me, hey, what are you smoking? I tell them what I'm smoking.
Well, we love to say that's how we collaborated and started smoking Score.
We started smoking Score like that. We both
in Island Girl over cigar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We put it out there. We put it out there in the universe, and it manifests into where we are right now. This is what our 52nd episode. 52nd episode.
You know what? I did not even equate that 52nd episode, and I'm 52. Okay, I'm 52. I told everybody in the live.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 52. 52nd episode. I know I look 42. Y'all know, everybody's gasping in virtual. Everybody's gasping.
Well, I'm sure
you thought I was 32.
Well, no.
Now you try to get back on my good side.
Well, I know you older than me. That's
stop. Watch it. So, Robert Brown, we appreciate. We have our other virtual listener, Mr. Robert Brown of Grown Ass Cigar Society. What's up, Robert? Give him a hand clap, Mr. Robert. We appreciate you being on with us. What's good, fam? We so appreciate you always supporting and being here on the live virtual. Another thing I noticed that I want to speak on.
What's that?
Tonight. Of course, shameless plug, maybe not so shameless, but of course, I am a manager and we are consultants, ultimate CEO, cigar. That is of a new cigar lounge in Jacksonville called Goodfellas. And so I'm more prevalent in cigar lounge every day now, every night. And it's in lieu of kind of doing it, to relax or just doing it. So I'm seeing more activity of different things and nuances. Let's speak on, Leon, what is your take on the etiquette situation of blessing the humidor when you come into a cigar lounge and not just smoking your own cigars?
Well, the proper cigar etiquette that I attribute myself to because I am a brother of the leaf.
Mhm.
When you come into a cigar lounge, the first thing complimentary for you to do is, even if you have your own cigars, you're supposed to purchase a cigar
Yeah.
from the establishment in which you walk into.
Mhm.
So what you first thing you're supposed to do is when you walk in here, if you got your own cigars,
Yeah.
you come in, you buy a cigar from the establishment, you
Mhm.
cut, you light it, you smoke it. Then after you cut, light it, smoke it, then you can pull out your cigars and smoke it again. You know, Some
That's the way
people.
it should go.
That's the way it's supposed to go.
That's the
So
way it
that's the
should go.
proper cigar etiquette when it comes to smoking a cigar.
Well, I'm glad that you said that because, a lot of people are having a little issue with that. I'm noticing, and I guess because I'm in it every day now, I knew that some people thought of that, but I thought some people were against it, but I didn't know as many of the population were until I started working,
Well,
more prevalent
well,
in it.
you can't treat this place like a train stop. All right, you
Right.
can't just come sit down, smoke your stuff, and then get up and leave.
And eat and don't
I
buy a
mean, that's
drink
not.
or
Yeah, I
whatever.
mean, it's just. I mean, it's not good for business. The whole aspect behind the cigar culture and being the cigar lounge is to show the cigar lounge love.
That's right.
So
And we
you
like
show
to
them
say
love.
bless the humidor. And
Bless the humidor,
and
absolutely.
you know what, Leon? I stand behind, and a lot of people don't like this as well. But I must say that's why I at first I thought about the $10 cutting fee that a lot of cigar lounges now um, apply in
Well, there
situations
wouldn't
such
be
as
a
those.
ten.
But I
There,
agree with it now because I understand now you don't
yeah.
have that argument with
Well,
people
I
if
mean,
you have a cutting fee.
yeah. If you but there's no need for a $10 credit fee if you come in here and you purchase a cigar.
Well, of course.
So I mean, just
Because I just visited a new place. They're not a sponsor yet, so I ain't gonna give them too much of a shout out. But we love the brothers. Some Omega, some Q's. They just opened a Soul Food Cigar Lounge on the west side of town, over in Orange Park. You heard about that?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Okay, it's called Unique. We're not gonna give out too much. You want to be a sponsor? We love you, Mr. Dante. Come on the show. You be a sponsor. We'll give more information like your phone number and your website and all that good stuff. But they access a cutting fee in their lounge, and they have a little small lounge. But it's intimate. It's nice. It's cool. Good service for me anyway. That's what I experienced. But if you go to a lot of places in Atlanta, up north, Chicago, DC, wherever, those cigar lounges they have cutting fees. Most of them all have cutting fees.
Well, would the cutting fee be waived if you actually purchase?
Absolutely.
yeah. If you purchase a cigar, it's
Absolutely.
waived. But if they see that you walk in the lounge and you don't
And you
purchase
never
you
go in the
you don't
humidor.
buy a humidor or a drink and stuff, then they charge you the
Right.
cutting fee for that. I mean, because somehow they've got to make their profit.
Yeah.
So, and another thing is, if you come down and you smoke your own stuff, and it's a full house, you're taking up space. You're taking up space for somebody
Correct.
who actually wants to come in here and grab
That's a good
stick
point, Leon.
and come and smoke a cigar. So that's the reason why they charge the
Mhm.
$10 cutting fee,
Mhm.
because you could be taking up space for someone who actually wants to go purchase a cigar
Correct.
and smoke it.
That's why I like hanging out with Tracy and learn a lot about cigars.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I'm telling you,
I mean-
the cigar lounge is a new in thing. I mean, I remember when I played ball,
Mhm.
the clubs and everything was a hopping and popping thing. But as you get older, if you look at it demographically, age wise, like 35 and up, a mass majority of those people aren't going out to nightclubs. They're going to cigar
Cigar
lounges,
lounge.
because the assessment of when it comes to women when they're looking for men or vice versa, that if you find somebody in the cigar lounge, 9 times out of 10, they got a job, because cigar culture is expensive.
Yeah.
They got a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never, in my experience with people in cigar lounges, ever met anybody that was a jerk. I've always met competent people
Definitely.
who got engaging
Well, I
conversations.
can't say I've never met a
Well,
jerk.
I
in
mean,
a
you
cigar-
gonna have those. You're gonna have fly-by-nights every
These
now
are
and then. I mean,
few
that's in every.
I mean, a few.
That's in every walk of life.
Yeah, sure. But I know your point. I know the point that you're making. And to your point, most people back in the day, they knew what a cigar lounge was. A cigar lounge was a place where you came, you enjoyed the cigars that the
Well-
establishment had for
Yeah.
the day or for the week. And a lot of cigar lounges will like premiere a cigar of the week or cigar of the day.
Well-
and it's all about finding out different cigar blends.
But here's the thing. What my notion was when I was younger, that I thought cigar lounges were only catering to old white people. You know, quite honest with
at
you.
one time,
I mean, when I was younger, I just
Yeah.
thought old white people, old white rich men hung out in cigar lounges.
And
But
that-
as I grew
yeah,
and understood more about it, I see that there's a plethora of different people that
Yeah.
come and smoke cigars.
Yes,
So
from a
that's what
media
makes it so
standpoint.
attractive.
From a media standpoint, that's what you would see.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
that's what they promoted.
Guess what? Or Cuban, or
Yeah.
Cuban,
Cuban or white,
old
exactly.
Cuban men.
But you would be astonished by the
yeah.
number of black women. Black women actually lead as far as the fastest growing cigar smokers in the country. Black women.
And the knowledge about cigars is becoming vast in the female society in cigars. I can tell you another shameless plug at the lounge where I currently work as a manager. Goodfellas, we're going to start next week another women's class. You know, I do the women's cigar courses. So we'll be starting that up, and I'll be putting something out this weekend about that.
Can you repeat that for me?
What? Repeat.
One more time for the fellas out
for
there
the people
listening.
in the back.
People in the back, there's
People
gonna be
in
a
the
what now? A women's what?
Cigar course.
Okay, all right.
To teach cigar, just cutting, lighting, and just some of the basics to help people. Because what I love about where I currently am working is that we give a full cigar experience. We don't just allow people to come into the cigar lounge and just pick something, and especially when they say, "I'm a newbie, I never smoke."
Well,
you want to encourage a good cigar experience, because the first one I had was not the best, and if I wasn't a person, see, I'm not a quitter type personality, so I had to try again.
Yeah.
But most people, when they first try a cigar, and if it bombs, they will never try again.
Well, here, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that y'all had your grand opening, and y'all actually had someone there hand rolling cigars.
Hand rolling. Mm-hmm.
And see, I experienced that when I used to live in Miami. In Miami, they had the 8th Street was
that's where he was from.
8th Street. She was from 8th Street.
He wasn't from.
Yeah, if you ever go down to Miami, you want a good cigar and get Cuban food and coffee, go down 8th Street.
Mm-hmm.
You can walk down, eat, get coffee, and get your cigar.
Oh yeah,
all within the same street.
Been there, done that.
Okay.
Same thing, just like Tampa, Ybor City.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing to do. Tampa, Ybor City, really close. You can walk down Ybor City and just walk down, and every block you got hand rolled. You've been there, Leon, right?
Oh,
Ybor
yeah.
City. You can walk down Ybor City on the strip.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of Ybor City, we were actually in Ybor City, but just last week, Wednesday, me, Howard G, and Ike Taylor, we had our cigar event at Davidoff's, and Davidoff's, where they complimented, they gave us right in front of the door. We had
that's that highfalutin cigar.
We had our cigars, and we raffled off prizes. My jerseys, Ike Taylor's jersey. Ike Taylor has his own cigar in our brand called One of a Kind.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's called All Pro Black Moses Magic Stick. We raffled off tickets for, I gave autographed jersey of Jaguars, Miami Hurricanes. Ike Taylor raffled off 2 Super Bowl balls that he played with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
We had somewhere between 50 to 100 people that came on through. It was an outstanding event. So hats off to Davidoff in Tampa for hooking this up.
Well, we appreciate that, and you telling us that, Leon, and we're so proud of what you're doing with All Pro Series cigars. And so we'll just wrap up the cigar culture conversation to say that if you don't know, and a lot of people just don't know this, and it's something you had to learn as you become more antiquated to the cigar culture, you'll begin to learn this. But Eli, if you don't know this, people out here in virtual land, on our live streaming, on our podcast, when you go into a cigar lounge, you can bring your own cigars. That's encouraged because they want you to sit around. As you smoke, you will drink. So that helps the establishment to make money. However, purchasing the cigars in the humidor is a very expensive investment for a cigar lounge. It costs like a great deal of money to buy certain blends to have prevalent in the cigar humidor for the customers. So please bless us. Even if you just buy one, you don't have to buy several or a box. Just buy one. We would love for you to buy a box.
Hell, I want you to buy
several boxes. Buy a box of Ultimate CEOs and some All Pro Series. However, if you just buy one, it blesses the humidor, as we would like to coin that phrase, if I may. and that just helps out. And I will also don't want to neglect to mention that we will be having Jacksonville Cigar Weekend again, October 6th through the 9th, coming up here in Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville Cigar Weekend 2022. Have your face in the place. Don't miss out. We will have the Facebook page coming up soon with all things Jacksonville Cigar Weekend. You'll be able to look at the schedule of events, everything that'll be going on. But get ready to purchase your ticket. There's a lot of cigar events that are going on. A lot of Black-owned cigar events, so we're very proud of that. Orlando Cigar Fest is coming up in April. The date escapes me. 13, 14, 12 through the 14th, something like that. Yeah, in Orlando. Right up the street, right up the road from us. Thank you, Robert Brown. Robert Brown said he'll be at Jacksonville Cigar Weekend again, coming in strong. I know. Listen, Grown Ash Support. They come in. You saw that group, Leon, Grown Ash group. They came in about 20 deep.
Yeah.
With yellow shirts on. They came about 20
Oh, well,
deep.
when we was at Davidoff's, cigar porn was actually at the event. They had a table right across. Well, they had a table across from ours, but they sold T-shirts and little trinkets or whatever, cigar porn. So I appreciate them for stopping by as well.
Yeah, Cigar Porn. They
Yeah.
some great people.
Okay, yeah.
So again, we are so delighted and honored to have our guests on this evening. Please welcome, warm welcome, extremely warm welcome to Mr. Eli Douglas, photographer extraordinaire. Eli, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Smoking Store Live.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have you
All
liked the
right.
little dialogue we've been having so far?
Always educational being around you when it comes to cigars
Mhm.
and other things, business aspect as well. One, I want to get before I get started, get a shout out to my wife Monique for being
Yay,
in the house.
Monique! Way
All right.
behind. On the, I don't like to say
hanging out with
behind. I like to say on the side of every good. On the not behind, but on the side of every good man.
And she keep
Got
me
to
grounded,
be.
keep me level.
Got to be.
And I appreciate both of you having me out, the opportunity.
Well, we appreciate you
hang
coming
out.
on. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you for
on.
taking your time to be here.
Other
Take your
thing
time.
about cigars and also going to cigar bars, I like the opportunity to network and the people you meet, educational experience, the business aspect, which is great. So I can appreciate that and just love the atmosphere too. Like being around good people, mature people, good crowds. So
Yeah,
So,
that's all about the cigar
So,
culture.
Eli, let me ask you. Your inspiration behind being a photographer. And I have two uncles, my uncle Richard and my uncle Randy. Now, if you check them out on Facebook or you check them out on Instagram, they take pictures of everything from the moon, the nature, to the beach, and all that kind of stuff. What's kind of your inspiration? What inspires you to like take that photograph, and what makes a great picture in your eyes?
well, for me, that's how it all started. Landscape, just capturing moments. I mean, ever since I was much younger, just looking at photos and the history behind, looking at my grandparents' photo books and people that I didn't know that's in the family, great grandparents and beyond. So just capturing those memories. And one day picked up a camera early on, even in high school, and just like randomly taking shots. We got to a point one day, a friend of mine was talking about shooting our wedding. I'm like, I don't know how to do weddings, or I'm just having fun with it. But I thought about when my wife and I got married and looking at our wedding pictures, and I was just like, wow. So I started studying the craft and got into wedding photography, portrait photography, event photography, and then moved on from there. I can say what's gratifying about it is when I'm able to present the product to a customer or a client, and they're amazed by it and blown back. So that's always a good thing. Like I said, capturing the moments.
Now,
Yeah.
photography, just like painting and sculpture, that's art.
Correct.
That's absolutely art. You catch a certain picture, or it's immortalized and forever.
Yes.
I mean,
Yep.
has there ever been a picture that you've taken that have actually someone has tried to purchase it from you because it was so something that they wanted?
Not outside of the actual client that's in the photo, but I've had requests for prints and callbacks from clients to
Mhm.
reprint merchandise for them. And that's probably one of the things when you get that print in their hand, it's completely different. I know we're in a world of digital,
Which I hate. I
even
hate.
digital
Go ahead.
photography and everything. And it seems like the younger crowds lean more towards the digital piece, but
Yeah.
when you put that art in someone's hand, it really brings out a lot. It's like a heirloom, especially like when you print in the
Mhm.
photo book or a photo album. It's like history, like for weddings and couples starting their family
Mhm.
and putting that history together for them. So that's a great experience.
Well, I love what you said, Eli, in terms of capturing a great moment. How you look back at you and your wife, your wife, and when you had your wedding, um, and just making sure, because a lot of times photographers will take what they think they deem as special, but you want the couple to look back on what they feel were the special moments. So, how do you feel like you horn in on that? How you identify that?
Well, with weddings is very unique in a way. Prior to the wedding, you get their concept, what they're looking for. I think what's kind of awesome about weddings, you capture things they don't even realize is going on. And then when they get that photo book, it's like, oh wow, like I didn't even know that happened, or that was a great shot, or a great moment. Or so, like I said, capturing the memories, not even just weddings, but events as well. Birthday parties and milestones.
Excellent. Now you from the Motor City, right?
Detroit, what up, though?
Detroit, Michigan, Motor City. And you
Yes.
came here in 2017. Is that
Yes.
correct? 2017. Okay. And so you weren't necessarily working in the photography industry.
Back
at that
in
time.
Michigan, I was,
Okay.
and also retail management at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Which being a retail manager for over 20 years was a motivation to start my own business and do something I really love.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent.
Now, was there ever a picture? Right. Well, was there ever a slew of events where you wish you had taken a picture of that you may have missed on? Like, I don't know anything that you would say. Oh, I wish I had taken the picture. Have you ever seen something or a picture of something where you said, I wish I would have gotten that picture?
Yeah, I look at other photographers' work at times, and I admire, different photographers, different
Mhm.
works, different styles. And sometimes there's things you look at and you want to emulate it or
Mhm.
recreate it at times. I figure like most of the time, nothing's really unique.
Well,
You know,
I asked that because I played in the NFL. I played 11 years in the NFL, and my book cover of my book is called Fourth Down: A Damn Alignment Story. Right. So someone took immortalized me on the football field, and I'm mean mugging. But I had no idea I was mean mugging. But that photographer got a picture of me right before the game, and he gave me that picture because I was looking for a cover for my book. And if
It
you
was
see,
perfect.
and it was a perfect
It's
picture.
perfect.
It's a
perfect,
picture
actually.
of me because what I used to do when I used to play, I used to look at my opponent across from the field, and I used to hate him. I used to put in my mind that I hated that guy, right? So if you see the picture,
The eyes, your
photo-
eyes are
the
talking.
photo of my, I'm gonna show you a photo of my
It's
picture
saying
of my
it. It's
book.
talking. It's
But
talking.
someone took that picture of me, and I reached out to the guy and I said, "Hey, man, I'm looking for a book cover for my book." I said, "Did you take any pictures of me while I was playing, to where I could use it as my book cover?" And he sent me the picture that really immortalized, what kind of player I was when I played with the Jaguars, and it ended up being my cover of my book. I'm gonna show you a picture of it right now. You get in a second. But yeah, I had no idea this guy had taken the picture, but that was the picture. So that's the picture. That's my book
yeah,
cover.
yeah.
Nice.
And your eyes, yeah, it says it all.
So that picture of me that he took for my book cover was me looking at my opponent across from the field, because I would always single out the guy I had to go up against, and I was in my mind, I was hating it.
And it's
Well, that's
almost
the
like a
unique-
nonverbal,
yeah.
if you think about it, because your
It says
picture
a
is
lot.
actually saying fourth down and damn, I'm about to get you.
Yeah. But that's like one of the good things about a photographer that understands what they're doing, is catching you in that element, that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And those are natural moments, not you posing for it. Catching
Exactly.
you
That's
in
what
the
makes it
element.
unique. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Well, I've been immortalized by Master Eli Douglas before myself, Leon, because I had my 50th birthday photo shoot. Yeah, but word up. Y'all can go back and look at.
I don't know if she put it on her wall yet, but she has some wall art. In that photo.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. How you know I was gonna say that, man?
Well, that's the goal.
That's heavily. No, seriously. And what I loved about what you did was you not only gave me what I purchased through taking the photographs for me, but you also added like this wall art that I had that you enlarged for me, and I was able to have and to share and to have, and it's just a keepsake, and you caught the most amazing, and you gave me my best look because now men, when y'all take pictures, sometimes y'all don't care, y'all don't care, y'all know how I am when I take the picture. You got to take it high. You gotta let me suck it in.
Right.
I
learned the hard way. I learned the hard way.
You got, and a lady is serious about how she take her picture. She just can't take no any picture. But you gave me the best look. You didn't let me look any kind of way, and I appreciated that. And just the comfortability, because when you're working with someone taking pictures of that nature, it's kind of nerve wracking. So you made me feel comfortable, and that's one thing I love about how you performed in the whole process. You made me feel extremely comfortable.
Yeah, it takes a lot. I mean, I didn't always have the eye, but just from training and following, I had a couple of mentors, actually a couple of women mentors. So that's huge because they can tell you and show you examples of how a woman should pose, and you can study all that. And then just getting to know the client as well. When you get to know the personality of the client, some of their interests as well, it helps you bring that out in the photo sessions.
Now, Eli, my experience with artists like yourself, musicians, painters, sculptors, they love to travel. All right, they love to travel. So, is there any particular place that you would love to travel where you could go and just want to take pictures, do a photo shoot?
Yeah.
I've been fortunate to travel around. We got a Hawaii trip coming up soon. So
nice.
Hawaii. Get some landscape, the nature.
It's gonna be some good shoots.
And like what I said when I started off more landscape and just nature when I was out seeing things. And I always felt like, it's close to God because it was authentic, real, and nothing man-made, So being able to capture those type of photos are always fun and great. And it's always great when you have a nice subject to be in that photo. But definitely looking forward to that. Maybe have my wife on the beach with her.
Oh yeah, yes,
her new bikini.
Oh yeah. I know that's right.
Now, when y'all get off the plane, now I've gone to Hawaii a couple of times. When you get off the plane, you're gonna get laid. You know what that means? Laid. When they put the thing over here,
okay.
That's called getting laid. I know you're like, what the hell you talking about, Lee? No. When you go off the plane to Hawaii, now I'm gonna tell you what happened. When you go off the plane in Hawaii, when you go off there, there's gonna be people in the airport when you walk on the airport terminal. They're gonna take that's what's called being laid. They put those flowers over you. That's called being laid.
Partner, wife over there talking about I'm gonna get laid.
But so I'm just giving you the heads up. That's what it's called.
Appreciate it. Well, back to traveling though. Like I've been in some places. I enjoyed Mexico, Punta Cana. We were in Jamaica. I got an awesome shot. And I took this the only picture I ever put on my websites from my iPhone. I was walking past an older couple sitting in the bushes, kind of a little cabana with flowers, and they were just reading. And I asked them, can I take a photo of them? And they was like, yeah. So they got up, started posing. I was like, no, go back to what you was doing. They were reading their books. Oh my God, it was amazing.
Oh wow, I love to see that. I would love to see that. Now, just because we like to share information that will inspire and help people, and we always see the glitz and the glamour and the inspirational part of it all. But what sometimes is some of the, should you say, not dark side, but some of the opposite side of maybe photography, or some things that are not as glamorous about it that you wish that you could improve upon, and that you would have learned first, and you made mistakes along the way that you would want to help someone else?
Probably shooting everybody. Any
and everybody.
I've learned how to
we don't do booty shoots.
I learned that every client is not for you, and you may not be for every client. So that's why it's really important that I have consultations before we actually have a session,
any business.
And get to know what that client wants, what I can offer for them, and making sure that it matches.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Wow. Yes. And do you realize? So my business partner had to remind me, and I love him for that because he's the yang to my yang. AT reminded me, you took our first Ultimate CEO photo shoot. our first Ultimate CEO branded photo shoot.
Yes.
And we use those marketing pictures to this day. And that's been how many years ago? Wait, 18
That's about
ago. How many?
3 years, maybe.
Maybe 4.
3 or 4 years.
Maybe
ago.
4. Tammy, 4? About 4 years ago. And we still use those images, still have not gotten old. I mean, they still look good. And you know what? It's so funny because the young lady, what's her? Oh my gosh, can't think of her name right now. Forgive me. I love you, my love. I love you to life, but I can't think of her name. I actually saw her in the lounge the other night at Goodfellas.
Good.
And she said, Tracy, I see you still using my pictures. I say, yeah, you don't want no kickback. No residual. She's like, no, I love it. She said, I can't believe you still using those pictures because she's had a baby since.
Oh, wow.
But when I tell you she looks still amazing, she looks amazing.
That's good.
And we still use those photographs from now. To me, and I'm glad AT brought up that point because you got to be a good photographer for someone to pull back pictures from 4 or 5 years ago and still use them in marketing to this day.
No, I appreciate it. I know, like for myself, I'm probably. I mean, I know a lot of people say it. Like my biggest critic, I look back on some of my stuff and like, look.
Well, we
But always want to get better and take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So Eli, what would be your advice? Because I was thinking of someone that's up and coming photographer. Like okay, let's say I go out and I buy me a camera. Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing I don't do. This is what I don't do. See, I don't take pictures of where I'm at. Okay, if I go to the beach or I'm just this and that, or I'm sitting down at dinner, everybody don't need to know what the hell I'm doing. I like to enjoy that moment, and I think that moment is important for me. But if I get out in nature, if I travel and the kind of stuff, and I'm a jump start photographer, I mean, what would be your advice on? What would be your advice on how I would get started? What would that be your advice?
One, I would say just pick up a camera and get started that way.
Just start taking pictures.
Yeah, because when I decided to convert over to professional, I was thinking at that time that I need all the latest equipment, and then once I started learning more about the cameras and the equipment, I'm like, I can do just as much with $4,000 camera as I can do. I mean, there's a little bit more benefits to it, but at the end of the day, you know, understanding the equipment that you have and capture that moment. You're gonna make some mistakes. You're gonna have some ugly shots sometimes, but first just pick up the camera and learn the camera and enjoy it, and then you'll get more into.
So it's not what you do; it's not what you use; it's how you use it.
Yeah, because I'm always I'm not envious. I mean, my uncles, my uncle Randy and my uncle Richard. They travel a lot, and they take these amazing photos of the moonlight and the sunset on the water and flowers and birds and all this different kind of stuff, and the stuff it looks good. Yeah. So I know that where they are, they're capturing that moment. What would you say? I know the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I wanted to ask you, what makes a beautiful photo in your opinion? Is it based upon just your own self-reflection of what you see and you taking a picture of it?
Sometimes that's just it. You know, sometimes it's there and you just capturing the moment. Sometimes you can do things, change the angle, change the lighting to bring out more of a dramatic look or artistic look. There are things such as Photoshop and different softwares where you can highlight colors and insert different, effects and everything. But at the end of the day, especially with like natural shots, the beauty is normally there. You're just trying to capture that moment. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it take a couple of shots before you actually get to match what you see. You know, with your uncles, you probably see more of the finished product, maybe 1 or 2 photos out of 10 photos, or maybe not. You know. Mm-hmm. Depending on how,
because you see, I'm starting to regret now because earlier on in my years when I was playing ball, I went everywhere. I traveled. I went to Jamaica. I went to Paris and Italy and all these different places, Hawaii, Colombia, Puerto Rico, Venezuela. I went to all these places. I didn't take no damn pictures.
Yeah, everywhere we go, I'm like always taking photos.
You always take a photo because
I can be walking down the street and see something and snap a picture of it just to capture that memory. Like catch your eye, you want to remember that moment.
Yeah, because we ain't like our elders. Because listen, I can go to my auntie house right now. They got pictures of
Pictures
me. They got pictures of me every time I go there.
That's history. That's
They'll pull out a pic. Now the pictures are Polaroid now back in the day.
That's
now,
all right.
But they pull out baby pictures, walking pictures,
in the
football
bathtub,
pictures, all these embarrassing pictures that they always customary pull out when I come into town. So our elders, they took pictures of everything.
and
Yeah, my
photos
kids
capture
are
a moment.
amazed when they see pictures with me with hair. So they kind of like,
Oh my,
Mine too.
mine too,
Mine too.
mine too. I had, back in the day, I had a little baby afro.
I know you had a Jerry curl.
Looking like
I saw that
Todd.
Jerry
Looking
curl,
like Todd.
Leon.
Look, I ain't had no damn Jerry
Ready for the
curl.
world. You
First
was
of all,
ready for the
I
world.
ain't ready for the world. I was looking like Todd Bridges, but not no ready for the world.
You was singing that song. What was Ready for the World song?
let me
Oh
love you
Sheila,
down.
oh Sheila.
Let me love you. I thought you was about to say.
First of all, it wasn't no Jerry curl juice in this hair.
That's just another shout out to another Michigan band.
Oh, they from Michigan. I didn't know that. Ready for the world. Oh,
Ready for
okay.
the World from Detroit?
No, they from I think Flint.
Oh, Flint, Michigan. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I didn't know that.
But that's another part. I mean, talking about Detroit, just the culture, and when I was shooting back home, like it's just culture everywhere. I mean, you go to Motown Hitsville, and you just get inspiration to create and do things. So you're surrounded by artistic, what it brings to different art. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We have some more people chiming in. Mr. Divergence Bourbon. That's our friend Divergence Bourbon. He has some of the best homemade bourbon around. He handcrafts bourbon. Black-owned bourbon company, Mr. Divergence Bourbon. Thank you for being on with us. Thank you, family. And again, this is Tracy Irvin of Ultimate CEO, Crushing Every Opportunity. I am your co-host along with my other co-host,
Leon Search, All Pro Series Cigars, Howard G. Brand in the house.
Yes, sir. And we are Smoke and Score live here every other Thursday here at Allen Girl Gate Parkway. Don't forget to tag, like, and share and join in the conversation virtually on Facebook Live at Smoke and Score Live and Instagram. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube on Smoke and Score Live. And we have been talking to our guests for about the past half hour, Mr. Eli Douglas of Eli Douglas Photography. Now, Eli, tell the people, please, how can they get in touch with you? Whatever you want to give out, phone number, website, email address, whatever that is, so that people can contact you.
So I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram, at Eli Douglas Photography. Website as well, EliDouglasPhotography.com on all platforms.
And y'all treat my brother right now, because you get what you pay for now. Yet now, we have to talk about. We're not going to talk about your prices, but let's get a little respect on pricing, because again, in every industry and anything that you utilize with a vendor doing any job, you have to make sure that they have a craft, and you see. Do you show people a book first when you consult with them, or how do you build your price point?
It's through consultation. I tell all my clients my price points are custom made to their needs and the services they're looking for. Weddings can go from an 8-hour day to a 4-hour day, so that varies how long your party may be. The product you're looking for. I deliver photos from a digital standpoint, but as well as prints and also photo albums. And during the consultation, I present all that to them, examples of the website and links where you can download prints and your images. Also present the prints to them so they see the quality of prints that we do, and also samples of books as well.
Excellent. Eli, we greatly appreciate you being on the show today.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you,
we should do a Smoke and Score calendar.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yes, I think AT and I had talked about something like that previously.
I've been working out. I did my crunches, so
you did. You gonna take your shirt off on the calendar?
I don't know. I got
big sexy.
Got to give me at least 3 more months in the gym.
You gonna take your shirt?
Yeah.
Well, I ain't gonna take my shirt off, but
I ain't say nothing about.
I
ain't say nothing.
I know Marcel Mocala. Look, he trying to pit me out. Marcel Mocala. He trying to pit me out. Damn it. See how you do? Me. I might show a little, do a little something for the people.
Show a little
give them a little something for the people with that cigar. It make it sexy.
Just smile.
Just smile.
There you go. Yeah,
all right, just smile. I'm gonna have to do more than smile. We gotta sell a bunch of calendars. We gotta sell these calendars. But Eli, we appreciate you. And again, this is Eli Douglas of Eli Douglas Photography. He is on EliDouglasPhotography.com and also Facebook, Instagram.
Instagram, EliDouglasPhotography.com.
That's
All right.
ELI Douglas, one S, right?
One S.
Photography.com.
Mhm.
So we appreciate you. We applaud you and all that you're doing. I know that Jacksonville tends to be an interesting market for almost every profession,
Yep.
to
Busy
say the
market.
least.
Yes.
But however, there are some amazing people out there doing some amazing work, and you're one of them.
Thank you.
And we're very proud of you, Eli. Thank you for being a
Appreciate
guest
it.
and a sponsor on the
Appreciate
show.
both of you.
And we'll continue to shout out Eli. He will be a guest another time throughout our year. And he's a sponsor as well now. So we will make sure that we put all your information on our thread. You will have a commercial now on Smoke and Score every time that we have our show. So you're good
Thank
to go.
you.
We'll take care of you, bro.
Appreciate the love.
Mhm.
So leading into sports, Leon, what we got going on sports? Wow.
My guys, Michigan State losing to
At Michigan State.
Y'all playing Ohio State, ain't you?
Ohio State.
Oh,
Wacky State.
Listen.
Boo.
Listen,
Boo.
me and you are mutually in agreement of hating Ohio State.
I do upcharge clients from
Huh?
Ohio, though.
Are you okay? I
Wait
appreciate
a minute, you
that.
heard that he upcharged clients.
I don't blame you. I don't, you know.
Just kidding. Just
Well,
kidding.
my reasons for hating Ohio State is I played at the University of Miami and they cost us a championship in 2002. Well, I'm trying to let that go. I'm still going to third view on that right now. But this week, partner,
Yes.
is the NFL Combine.
Yes, sir.
NFL Combine is this week. 300 players from around the country, all the different colleges.
We're going to
and
see what they got,
universities.
right?
They are meeting it. They're right now. They're in Indianapolis, and I went through the whole process of the combine when I came out of University of Miami. This is actually the 30th anniversary of when I went to the combine.
Really?
30 years ago, I was at the combine. Can you believe that? Don't clap. That made me old. That's what
No,
makes me.
hey,
I'm
that's
52.
saying something. That's saying something, Leon.
That's 50. That's
saying something.
I was 22 years old when I went to the combine. In the combine, essentially, is where you actually go through a plethora of different drills, and the NFL evaluates you based upon those drills that you run. And it's usually about 5 or 6 drills. You got the vertical jump, you got the broad jump, you got the short shuttle, you got the cone drill, you got the 40-yard dash, you got the bench press. So all these players, their talent is assessed on how well they test during the combine.
Is that nerve-wracking, Leon?
Listen,
for a player? That's pretty
I
nerve-wracking.
I don't like the combine because the combine reminds me a lot of standardized testing. Standardized
kind of like the
testing.
FCAT.
Well, the SAT and ACT back in the day is not an assessment on how well you're going to do in college. Okay, and the combine,
Life in general.
yeah, it doesn't assess on how well you're going to do in college, and the combine is not a true assessment of how well you're going to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
But the NFL put this, I call it a stress test. It's a stress test. They put you in these variations of drills through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and they see how well you execute the drills. And then if you did well or you did bad, and then they want to see how you respond to your actions day after day. You go through a series of interviews with coaches, assistant coaches, executives, GMs.
So it's more than just physical; it's mentally and physical.
And then you go through you got to take a standardized test while you're there.
Wow.
You go through all the trainers that pull and tug on you to see if you hurt in any capacity. I had to go through the whole shenanigans when I was there.
So they prick and prod you and everything.
I understand why they do it.
Well,
because you're dealing with multi-billion-dollar companies, which is the NFL.
And if they're spending their money, they want to make sure you got what it
they're
takes.
making tens of millions of dollars investment in these players, and they want to make sure that they get their bang for their buck.
So how did you mentally prepare for it?
Mentally, I prepared for it was I had teammates of mine when I was at Miami that had already gone through the process of the combine. So these guys that went through the process will come back and tutor us on what we had to go through with the combine. Now the physical attributes of the combine, I could handle, but they told me, the questions and answers, what it is. You just got to be yourself.
Yeah.
You just got to be yourself, and it's a job interview. Basically.
And as confidence, you just have to have
Yeah,
confidence
well,
in your ability.
yeah, it's a job interview. Basically, the combine is a job interview. You go through the physical attributes of going through all the drills, and then the the mental strain of dealing with the questions and answers that these organizations and these franchises are asking you. And then once it's all over, they make an assessment based upon the information and data that they accumulate from these 300 players, and then they decide in April who we're going to draft and who we're not going to draft. So that's the NFL Combine in a nutshell.
So
Who's
what
your
about
biggest? I'm sorry.
no? You go
Your
ahead.
biggest mentor from like your alumni.
My biggest mentor as alumni,
Well, when you were in college.
when I was in college
to the NFL.
to the NFL, I didn't. Me personally, I was self motivated. So I didn't. Of course, I had guys that were upperclassmen that I had questions and answers I asked them, but I was always self motivated. I didn't need anybody to inspire me, to be quite honest with you, because I loved football. That was my passion. So it was easy for me to want to be great at my profession because I just love the game of football.
So leading into that, you got a little bit of a crossbreed with the NFL free agent. Now, what about that, Leon? What about
Well,
dealing with?
the NFL free agency, the combines this week. Free agency starts March 14th.
Mm-hmm.
So on March 14th, guys who are no longer contractually obligated to any team have the opportunity to go into the free agent market, kind of like I did when I was with the Steelers.
And basically choose where you would like to go.
You get to choose. It's almost like freedom, because initially when you get drafted in the NFL, you're contractually signed with a team for 4 to 5 years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, depending on what round you win in. So when your contract is up, you're allowed to go into free agency. And free agency is based upon your performance, how you played those particular years when you played. Now, if you're an outstanding player, more than likely you're going to get franchised, which means you can get franchise tag. Let's take, for instance, a guy like the wide receiver from the Green Bay Packers, Devontae Adams. He's projected to be one of the top 1 or 2 free agents coming out, but the team gets to franchise him, which means that no other team can go after him unless they give away a bunch of draft picks. So most teams aren't willing to give that kind of draft capital to get a guy. So he gets franchise tag, which when you get franchise tag, that means you make the average of the top 5 players at your position for that franchise.
So is there a rule on free agency? Is there a rule on that? Like if you're excellent player and you feel like you want to be a free agent to go where you choose to go, is there a rule on how you can choose?
No, when you're a free agent and the team doesn't tag you, you can essentially go to wherever you want to go.
Okay.
And then that's when the bidding wars begin.
But you don't want to waste your time, because if it's some team that that is not that interested, how do you get that information as a player?
Well, your agent lets you know.
Very good.
I mean, the agent does all the due diligence of what the team has to offer. What are they over the cap? Are they under the cap? What kind of money can they spend?
That's interesting.
And they also most of these players have what I didn't have when I was playing. When I was signed, I got a signing bonus. So a lot of these players now are getting guaranteed money, which means that if they sign a 4-year, $60 million deal, at least 50% of that money is guaranteed, whether you
go there or not.
You go there, but whether you pan out or not.
Yeah.
So a lot of these players are going after guaranteed money. So free agency is, I call it the Wild Wild West, because in about 2 weeks, it's going to be a lot of brothers going to be getting paid.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. There'll be a lot of Rick Rosses in the house.
Rick Ross. Well, speaking of, because
First of all, partner, listen. First of all, me and you are Laker fans. The Lakers are horrible.
But hold up.
They no hold up.
Hold up.
They're terrible.
So LeBron, everybody thought that he was going to go away and move, but LeBron says he's staying with the Lakers. He's saying Lakers is a team.
That's what
he's staying with the Lakers.
That's what his
Well,
mouth say.
Well, now
I think he said that when he was in Cleveland at
Now,
first.
now,
Oh,
now,
he
ho.
He said, "I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be here for life.
Listen,
This is my hometown."
things
What did he
change,
do?
things
He
change.
bounced.
Listen, so his son Bronny is nice.
He's nice, but
He's
is
nice,
But
and so
Bronny is a junior in high school.
yeah, he's nice.
One more year.
So
he got
he's
another
thinking he
year.
wants to play with him. So that might happen.
Well, first of all, Bronny's got to make the league.
He has to.
I mean, there's no.
And there's some good guys
That's
out
not
there
etched
now.
in stone that he's gonna
It's
get
not.
drafted.
No, not at all. But people want to see him in there because of who his father is. I mean, come on. Let's just be real. They want to see him in there because of who his father is. Now, he has amazing talent. It's not bypassing his talent and his skill set because of that. But however, they want to see him make it because of who his father is. And you think that he won't have a leg up? You think he won't have a leg up
I
because
ain't
of
talking about Bronny till he get drafted.
that? Hey, listen.
How you know Bronny ain't gonna go to college for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years?
LeBron, by the way, if you're listening, this
You
is
ain't
Tracy
listening.
Irvin of Ultimate CEO. And we sell cigars. And I know you love cigars. Let me send you some. So anyway, that's gonna happen one day. And All Pro Series, I'm gonna throw you in there.
Yeah, give him an All Pro.
Just real quick, since we're talking about the NBA, what about Ja Morant?
What about
Ja Morant should be one of the candidates for MVP. He
MVP?
is.
You think so?
Oh yeah, listen, it's got to be. Well, I think it's a 3-horse race.
It is.
I think between Joe Embiid,
Come on, give it to me.
Steph Curry,
Steph Curry. I was about to say
Joe
that. You had to put him in there.
the Joker,
You gonna leave Ball
and
out there?
who?
Ball?
Lorenzo?
No, man.
Who?
Nah. Eli.
Eli?
No.
Oh, the one
Eli-
in Charlotte.
Oh, DeRosa, he should be up for the MVP as well.
This is a LaMelo Ball or which one?
Yeah, Lonzo. Oh, you're talking about the one
Ball.
that plays for Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's having a great season, but I don't think it's MVP caliber.
No,
He's
I'm
having
not
an outstanding season.
I'm not a fan of the team that Steph Curry plays for, but Steph Curry nice. Now you got to give him that 3-point
He's
shot.
the greatest shooting
Oh
guard.
my gosh,
He's the
that
greatest
3-point
shooter in
shot
NBA
is
history.
like
Absolutely.
fire.
Oh yeah, great shooting.
Like he's the truth.
He is the truth. He is absolutely.
He's the truth.
He
He's
is.
the truth. He's
So
the
you
truth. So,
picking for the NFL next year?
Who the team to win?
NFL, yep.
Going to the Super Bowl. I like Buffalo. Well, first of all, my pick last year was Buffalo and San Francisco to go to the Super Bowl last year. I think the team to beat in the AFC next year is probably going to be Buffalo again, along with Kansas City. And the NFC is you know, man. I mean, in order to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. You got to put the Rams in there. Rams are going to be a formidable opponent next year because they got everybody essentially coming back. I think Green Bay has an opportunity depending on what they do with Aaron Rodgers. I think the Dallas Cowboys eventually got to get their together because you got too much amazing talent on that team to come up short each and every year because Mike McCarthy is either going to have to, get something done or he's going to be replaced next year.
now, because this is a Jacksonville bred show, not saying that if you want to become a sponsor, I will say it loudly, but I'll say it moderately loudly. Jaguars, we have a hopefulness, and I got the people going in the prayer closet.
Well, the Jaguars.
I got all the sisters at the church.
Well,
They going in the prayer closet for the Jaguars. Okay,
Well, I
now
mean,
since it's a Jacksonville bred show, we might have to just throw that in there,
Jacksonville is in a total rebuild.
and hopefully it'll be rebuilt by.
Well, I mean, you can't say
Sounds like that same prayer we've been doing in Detroit.
exactly.
Still
Jaguars.
hopeful.
Jaguars are a total rebuild. I like the hire of Doug Peterson. I like the assistant coaches that he brought on board. I like his philosophies on what he want to do offensively and defensively. But the Jaguars are at least 2 or 3 years away before they're going to be relatively competitive, in my opinion.
Maybe
Because
so.
you got to
Maybe
overhaul
so.
the roster. The roster is just terrible. I mean, you're thinking about the over the last 2 years, this team has only won 4 games in 2 years. They went 3-14 this year, and they went 1-15 the year before.
It could be an upset. It could be a turnaround.
I mean, I hope
You
it's
know,
a turnaround.
miracles can happen.
Yeah, it can, but they cost me money. 'Cause
It
I'm
could
a
be
former
miracle
Jaguar.
A Philip Randolph Street.
Listen, listen, don't nobody want to see Leon Cersei when the Jaguars suck. I hope they start winning.
I got one more NFL question.
What you
Yes,
got?
go right ahead. Sir.
Super Bowl MVP. Who should have gotten it?
Aaron Donald.
All day.
Aaron Donald should have got Super Bowl MVP. He was disruptive. I mean, he was constantly in the backfield. Joe Burrow didn't have a chance against him in the vast majority of the game. They got 7 sacks in the game, and he had 2.5 of them. And he had the game winning sack when Cincinnati was trying to drive and kick a field goal.
2 plays in a row.
Absolutely. And that guard, number 67, I'll never forget him. He needed to be cut right after the game. He did not put a hand on Aaron Donald. How do you not put a hand on Aaron Donald and you get a sack? An opportune moment when you're trying to score and kick a field goal or possibly win the game.
Not taking anything away from the receiver, but Donald showed out.
Oh yeah, Aaron. Yeah, no. Listen, Cooper Kupp is an outstanding wide receiver, one of the best receivers in the NFL. But Aaron Donald should have been the MVP of that game, as disruptive as he was in that game. They did not have an answer for Aaron Donald. And see, that's what Jacksonville has to get to the point. Jacksonville has to get to the point where offense and defensive coordinators are looking at certain players on your team and say, listen, we've got to neutralize that guy.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't block that guy, if we don't cover that guy, if we don't stop that guy, we don't win.
Yeah.
Jacksonville doesn't have those kind of weapons that we had back in the day. When I was here in Jacksonville, we had Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, that
Keenan
passion
McCardell,
and motivation
Fred
was
Taylor,
hard.
Cal
That
Brady.
motivation was tough.
So your defensive coordinator had to figure out a way to stop those guys. And defensively, you know, we had Tony Brackens, we had Kevin Hardy, we had Cornell Lake, we had Donovan Darius. I mean, we had guys on both sides of the ball that if you're an offensive defensive coordinator, you got a game plan to get those against those guys, or they're going to be disruptive. Until Jacksonville gets to that point, they're going to be a mundane team for years and years to come. They've got to get star power on both sides of the ball.
Well, hopefully it'll happen, and we'll just be inspired by what.
I'm tired of hoping. I need them to
So
do. I don't need them to hope. I need to do.
That means we have to hold hands and sing "Kumbaya."
They ain't gonna help. They ain't gonna help.
Come on, hold, touch and agree, hold hands, "Kumbaya," my lord, "Kumbaya,"
They ain't gonna help.
"Kumbaya." But anyway, we do appreciate your knowledge of the sport and your motivation, inspiration, and you know what? Whatever happens, we have to be inspired that people will be motivated to do the best they can be and be the best, because that's the only thing that wins games. That's what wins in life. You can't just try. You got to be the best. You got to want to be the best. So again, this is Smoke and Score Live with your ultimate CEO queen, Tracy Irvin. We appreciate you being on with us this evening. We had our amazing guest, Mr. Eli Douglas of Eli Douglas Photography. If you want to hear more about him, please go back on our YouTube at Smoke and Score Live and watch the live, or Facebook and Instagram for Smoke and Score Live. If you would like to be like Eli and be on our show and be a sponsor, build or advertise for your brand or your business, get in touch with us at smokeandscorelive@gmail.com. And also Ultimate CEO Cigars. We're here in Jacksonville and all surrounding areas, as well as out of town. We will be on our tour. Once our banding comes out very, very soon, we're going to light it up like fire. And we'll be on our tour with Ultimate CEO Cigars. And we have my co-host, Mr. Leon Searcy. What you got going on?
Well, we've got the All Pro, the baby Searchers are coming out next month. We've got a couple of events set up and lined up for the next couple of months. What is it? What's the event in Vegas? The TPE or TPC?
That's PCA in July.
PCA in July. We'll be going to
we'll be there as well.
So we'll be there. So we've got a lot of amazing events that we got to be doing in the next couple of months. So I'm very excited about what's moving forward.
Yes, what's moving forward. We're all about forward movement, and we're all about encouraging others to forward movement. That's what Smoke and Score Live is all about. That's what Ultimate CEO and All Pro Series is all about. And again, we thank you for chiming in. Our virtual listeners, thank you so much, so much. We appreciate you from the heart for your support and everything that you do to chime in. Even if you go back and look at the replay, please tag, like, and share. Help us get the information out to others all around the world. So we appreciate you again. Thank you for being here, Eli.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And it was a great night. And Leon.
And another one.
We appreciate y'all, and good night. Have a wonderful week. God bless.
Yay, yay.